So we got Chad LaBoy here. He's the CEO and founder of the app MusicCred, and it's set to streamline and indeed revolutionize the booking process for independent artists. Chad, welcome. Thanks for being here,
Hey,
man.
thanks, Jake. I appreciate you having me, man. I'm excited to share a little bit more about the company and really excited to be on Music Existence.
And right off the bat, I really like the color scheme that you got there in the logo, and I like the tagline too. It's getting artists, fans, music, and venues back to business. And in general, I'd like for you to talk a little bit about your tech background and then eventually how MusicCred got started.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's been kind of a brainchild of mine for quite some time, and growing up, I've had a lot of experiences in business, and it started at the age of 8 when my dad taught me about the regenerative process of like banana plants. When you cut the root of a banana plant and you grow it, and you'd split the root, and you could plant it in another area, and the next day another one would actually like root up.
hmm
So it was really fast. So I got the idea of kind of like making money off of that at age 8. And so I used to have a wheelbarrow, and I'd wheel it up to the side of the road and sell banana plants. But I've gone, starting at the age of 8, I started kind of wanting to do more business stuff. I started a landscaping business, got into the car detailing business, and grew kind of from there. And as I got older, I got into like I was an art broker. I was, also the executive assistant to a New York Times bestselling author named Andy Andrews, who wrote the, the Butterfly Effect. He
Yeah.
actually wrote, he acknowledged me in one of his books called The Heartmender.
Wow.
But ultimately, my passion has been really about the music business, and as when I moved to Nashville, I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a songwriter, and met a lot of people in that time, and wanted to just kind of be successful in that. But then realized there was a lot of you know uh, miscommunication, a lot of issues within the industry that kind of held me back. And so instead of pursuing my dream as an artist, I kind of wanted to take my business, the business strategies and fundamentals that I've learned over all the years, and kind of put it towards a solution for the music industry. And it's been, again, a long time of just ideation and growing this. And just recently, I got the opportunity, from someone that I truly respect, and as a mentor. He put $1 million into our company and allowed me to kind of live my dream. And so I've been on this roller coaster of trying to create this technology that can really help independent artists. It can help venues, and streamline a lot of these processes that are outdated. And so we've been putting the team. I've been handpicking the team, and we've been kind of going through all these different processes of like what's needed, what's not needed, and building this technology. So that's kind of where we are right now with it.
And I see in going through your journey, um, uh, your ambitions as a musician, as you know, a singer-songwriter, whatever you do, weren't totally scrapped. In other words, you took the components of your journey and just put it in a different direction, probably something a lot more realistically scalable in that regard.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, absolutely, man. Again, I didn't want to give up on my dreams, and I think that my dream, turned out to be that I really just wanted to do something that could help other people, and I wanted to do it for an industry that I absolutely love. And the music industry was one that I absolutely love. And um, you know, that's kind of where, I kind of took those steps and making this a reality.
Mm-hmm.
But it definitely has not been easy. And we're still, kind of like how Uber is right now, or when Uber first started out, they were, wanting to get, they had to get, drivers and riders. We're in the
Mm-hmm.
position where we need venues and artists to be on this platform. And of course, the more people that actually join this platform and start using it, it really is going to be a game changer
Mm-hmm.
for artists and venues to connect and streamline those booking processes. And of course, I wanted to love to go into further, about the technology and how it's going to really enhance, this industry.
Mm-hmm. And let's dive into the concept of music cred. Now, I read in one of the releases for music cred, it said before music cred, there was no way for artists and venues to connect directly. Now, does that pertain to like, say if you're an artist and you're not in immediate proximity to the venue, so you can't establish a relationship with the venue owner, and you're just kind of playing a guessing game, but then this is like taking the guesswork out of it. So in other words, um so do you make it that much easier? For example, so an artist creates a page, right? And then contacts the venue, and then is the communication like that much streamlined? Like, if you were an artist,
Yeah,
if you were an artist, let's say, how would you go about approaching a venue on this app? I guess that's what I mean
yeah,
to say.
yeah, absolutely. So, before music cred, there are like, so like that statement isn't absolutely like correct. So like there's been ways to like directly communicate with
Right,
venues, but our platform streamlines that and makes it easier.
right,
So
right.
in essence, like before you'd have to do more like text messages, emails, phone calls, Google, all these areas that are kind of just sporadic. But
Right.
venues have a profile that allows you to inquire on them. So if you're an artist and you're actually looking to, for bookings or opportunity, you'll be able to go to these venues, check out, what their venues like, see their profile, see their pictures, any
Mhm.
YouTube videos that they have, any, entertainers that have performed there before, and kind of get a rundown of that venue. And then also you can inquire directly with them. So you're not like, so it keeps track of all those engagements right through one platform, and it's all based on geolocation. So, again, as this thing grows, you'll be able to, you could, put yourself in New York virtually and actually, find venues in the area and inquire on those venues before even, even going anywhere. So,
Yeah,
um, it's just, go ahead, buddy.
cool. So in other words, the familiarity is like from the get-go established. In other words, like uh, a venue owner knows that they're talking to an artist, and it's not just a scenario of you call up a venue and then whoever's there is like, okay, who the hell are you? That kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. They, as an artist, you'll have your own profile. You can have your YouTube videos, your Spotify links. And again, we're continuously looking to grow the technology to enhance, profiles and of course the functionality of the app when it comes to, connectivity, all these things. We're already looking into a
Yeah.
lot of other new areas that we want to expand on. And we're looking for feedback from artists and venues that are using the platform to help guide, what is needed. But ultimately, what's really great about this technology is not just about, the inquiring, but it's also allowing there to be more of a it's more of a management tool,
Right.
in essence of, not only are you connecting, but venues can book you right through the app.
Right.
So in essence, if a venue books you, it not only do we do scheduling, all the terms of service and contracts are right through the app, just like if you're, on Airbnb.
Right.
Um, Payment is done through the app, so the venues can pay directly and schedule you. Keeping all of that in one place, so where there's no double bookings. I mean, a lot of these venues are having double bookings. Artists are showing up when they're not supposed to, or there's just miscommunication. A lot of this stuff is kind of like what I get passionate about, and kind of solving those issues is exciting. And I've already got some great feedback from venues that are using it now, and artists that are absolutely loving it because, for instance, like an artist, getting paid right through the app when they show up, they perform, they get paid, not having to go and cash checks or wait for someone to give you a check, or, you just show up, you do what you love, you perform, and then you get paid. And it's all streamlined through our platform.
Yeah.
And so and then of course, once you do that booking, kind of right here, like as you can see on, it's like right here, hold on,
Hmm.
right there, you actually show up on the map. So once a venue books an artist, it becomes live to anyone looking for live entertainment. So your event shows up on this mapping system where you can geolocate events in your area based on if it's parameter, or if it's based on like, hey, I want to see a jazz band, or I want to see, a country artist. You'll be able to see all the information as a fan or a customer looking for live entertainment. You can see all the venue, details, the artist details, and kind of make a better decision on where you want to spend your time.
And it's really cool because I can imagine the frustrations and the trials and tribulations that people had to go through. I mean, you mentioned, scheduling, booking, and inquiring has a lot to do with that. I remember the famous example, at least to me, is when you go into like Goo Goo Dolls Behind the Music, even when they were becoming popular with Name, someone even forgot that they were on the marquee and they're like, oh, I guess you could play here. I don't know. But then you go into payments too, and you remember like the story of Anvil. Anvil's the story of Anvil. Their whole thing was, I need to get paid. Where's the guy who's supposed to pay me? So, like, if he had this app theoretically in 2009, he'd be lips would be so much better off.
Man, you're absolutely right, dude. I hear from a lot of people that they wish that this kind of existed then, and honestly, I've actually been thinking MusicCred's not just something that's been an idea of mine just like recently. It's been something I've been thinking about for over probably 15, 16 years. Back in 2008, 2009. And but the technology just my ideas are way beyond what the technology could provide.
Hmm.
And it's exciting to where we're in a place where technology is so powerful, and that that music cred could even be a thing right now. So again, uh you know our whole motto is getting music back to business, and we want to not just work with artists and venues, but we also are interested in finding ways to make agencies streamline their processes and help them manage or help artists book through this platform as well. So we're looking to help agencies, and labels. Again, this is going to be a great tool for labels, in the future, because as artists are using this platform, we're going to be able to know who the next big things are going to be, right? I
Hmm.
mean, this technology is going to allow us to learn, about an industry like this. You know, uh, the data doesn't exist, right now, and so that's
Hmm.
what's really exciting about it, is that labels are going to have access to data that for independent artists, and finding those next talents before they're even big. So I think this is like, you know really, really exciting. It's going to be an
Hmm.
exciting journey.
And I saw again referring to release. Uh, this lady Haley Osceola was a appointed senior vice president of Alliance and Operations, and she has ties to hard rock. And in general, what could you say about the team that you've built thus far?
Well, I can tell you when I first started out, it kind of I was trying to figure it out, man. Like it was hard because honestly I only had the ideas that I've been conjuring up for years and years, and when I actually had the opportunity and the cash to actually do something about it, I started hiring some interesting people, like just trying to figure out what was going to be my next step, and it was kind of like I had to go through a lot of learning curves, and so at some point after, hiring certain individuals and realizing that, that it wasn't working out, I had to come up with the idea of, hire fast and fire faster, basically. And so what that means is that, like I was trying to save capital by hiring just kind of, people that were kind of mid-level, and then I was like, you know what, it's time to start hiring the best. And so I brought on a product manager to kind of help me with that, and after that it's just been a great collection of just a collective group of individuals who are just the best of the best. And it's been a great journey, and I'm excited to grow with them. But yeah, we've got some really exciting opportunities with some pretty great advisors that are coming on board. Um, we even had some big founders, some record label heads that are actually looking to join in on our journey. Um, Currently I can't really say too much because we're still kind of in the process of kind of like the contracts and stuff, so I don't want to talk too soon about the big relationships that we have on and coming on. But I can just tell you right now that it's going to be very exciting.
Hmm. And so your focuses now are on, um, like you said, just streamlining that process of, um, not only finding venues and establishing those relationships, but most importantly, getting paid. And I was wondering, taking in the extent of these challenges, um, which challenges are you still facing now that you feel you've gotten a much better grasp on, especially around this time?
Yeah, I mean, like, basically, some of the things that, again, it's like this is an industry that has been around for a long time, and these processes have been, processes that have been being used for a long time, and so, having a technology that's kind of different, it
Mhm,
takes time for people to understand and grasp what we're trying to do.
mhm,
And it's like I'm trying to take that, like there's a huge vision of what music cred is and can be, and being able to make that simple for people to understand, and grasp so they can like jump on board and start using this technology. It has been a challenge, but what I'm starting to find out too is like once artists, it's really just getting that getting out, what music grade can do for people, and then actually having them like actually use it. They start realizing that, my gosh, this is a game changer,
mhm,
and then that's been kind of the very first approaches that I'm looking to do is to, of course, make sure that people understand how it benefits them, and then show them and then help them understand like what the big vision is here. Because
mhm,
again, this is, sorry, this is just the beginning of where we're going. Again, we're looking to add more features, more functionality, and of course, again, get that feedback so we can help improve, this in areas that the industry, that artists and venues and what they need and what they want,
mhm.
and then of course honing in on those areas is kind of what we're looking for.
I'll give it to you this much. I mean, um, after the whole Fire Festival debacle, you know how the founder wanted to do a similar thing where they book like artists on like a national level. Of course, they never panned out, but you're actually doing it right. And you have the connections and the know-how and the tech background. So that's immediately 1 point for you in that regard.
Thanks,
And I
man.
guess, yeah, the whole thing. But I guess if you want immediate feedback, I'm myself, I'm disabled, I was born disabled and I'm in a wheelchair. And a make or break for me is finding out which venues are accessible. Like, because that could like ruin anyone's, detour to, a concert venue that they might otherwise
Right.
like. If it's, but if it's not accessible, then I can't go. But it would be a cool
Yeah.
thing to have, like, next to each venue information, to have like a wheelchair sign to indicate whether a
Yeah.
venue is accessible. Because that's like, I mean, I know I am part of a minority group, but that would be so helpful to like
Yeah.
to indicate and streamline that process in the same way.
Yeah, that's a great idea. And we've actually had, thoughts about doing stuff like that where, if it's pet friendly or kid friendly, having those icons for venues. But yeah, absolutely. That's definitely one that I actually hadn't considered just until now. So definitely great feedback and something that we definitely will be adding into those features.
And what can you say just in general going forward, considering the trials and triumphs that you've accumulated thus far? What have you learned about yourself, not only as a musician, but as a person?
That is a really good question, and I think that it's really about self, like, learning, knowing that, you're dealing with people, and people have, feelings, and they have needs and wants. And and kind of realizing that, that it's kind of, you need to be more like, as a leader, as a CEO, you really have to listen and understand, you know people, and respect them, and especially people that are in your circle. Like, you put them there for a reason, and if you don't listen to them, and then, you know you really aren't giving yourself room for growth. And so I've had to learn, that in this process is that, um I need, for me personally, I've had to just, step back, and kind of just, believe in the team that I've built, and give them the ability to make decisions. And I feel like, in those areas, we really have shown a lot of success, and I've got a whole team of people that are absolutely just, um, excited and passionate about this. And
Mhm.
so, I think in those areas of growth, it's really helped us to grow beyond just a normal company. I feel like we really are a family.
Mhm. And then lastly, anything you'd like to say to our readers and listeners of Music Existence?
Yeah, I'm really excited about the future. I hope that we can gain support from independent artists and venues. Again, we're here for you. And so, we want to I definitely want to hear your feedback. I want to know what your thoughts are, and that way we can address any sort of concerns. Again, we're in this together. And again, I'm excited to be, the founder CEO of MusicCred, and I believe that it's going to help a lot of people out there that, you know are having a hard time finding opportunity. And this is a way to really help those independent artists, help venues, and this is going to be a great journey. So we're here for everybody. And again, yeah, more feedback, and I look forward to answering any questions or concerns that people have.
Thanks so much for your time, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming on, and I'll be sure to, keep in contact you, let you know what I think of
Yeah,
my app, and I'll pass it on to my other musician friends too. I mean, this definitely has the potential to go global because I have a lot of artist friends around the world who could really appreciate this.
man, that's awesome, brother. I again, yeah, I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate your time, and this has been a great interview. I'm excited and would love to do it again as we continue to grow and give more feedback and talk to you more about what's to come.